Man, did we get some reaction, particularly online. I got trolled mercilessly by the pearl-clutching left, or the greenstone bead clutching left yesterday, for just sharing with you some public information about just how much money journalist Mihi Forbes and her company Aotearoa Media Collective have received for just a couple of programs. I've had a text this morning suggesting, and could that person please send me some details as to where to look, suggesting that there's probably more than $1 million that has gone to Mihi Forbes' company, Aotearoa Media Collective. And some other stuff in the feedback I got yesterday on Twitter and Facebook and everywhere else was that her business partner, Annabelle Lee Mather, who's also a journalist, they run the Aotearoa Media Collective, and it's all very closey because guess who Annabelle Lee Mather is married to? Well, she's married to the chairman, appointed by Willie Jackson, the chairman of Radio New Zealand. His name's Bill Mather. And, of course, Radio New Zealand takes some of the publicly funded stuff and highlights the work of the Aotearoa Media Collective. Now, some would say conflict of interest. Or isn't that curious, wouldn't they? So Annabelle Lee Mather is married to Jim Mather, who is the chair of Radio New Zealand. And Radio New Zealand plays and repeats and is involved in co-productions with Aotearoa Media Centre, jointly owned by his wife and by Mihi Forbes. How can that not be a conflict of interest? He was appointed by Willie Jackson, who also has shares in Māori media companies. So how's that not, well, at least worthy of mention and consideration? And Bill Mather also used to be the boss of Mihi Forbes and of Annabelle Lee Mather. They weren't married then when he was at Māori Television. So it's a very tight little circle. And I don't think we're quite at, William Gannon's or Ormsby yet. But it would seem that the publicly funded Māori broadcasting and journalism infrastructure is a very small world, a very small money go-round where the same players are vying for control or doing deals with each other. And my fundamental problem is they do not practice journalism. They practice what is called Māori journalism or Māori media, which is advocacy and propagandising and campaigning. And they do it largely with your money, and that is the problem. So, look, the person who said, look, there's another $1 million or more that's gone to Joanne Forbes, Mihi Forbes, and Annabelle Lee Mather, I'd be really interested to hear from that about that money, if you could just point me in the right direction. And the other thing, I guess, is do you think it is appropriate that Jim Mather, as chair of Radio New Zealand, is married to someone who gets money from the government to make programs that air on Radio New Zealand? And I know it's easy to say, it's a small country, you just can't get round this stuff. It doesn't seem quite right to me. I might be being paranoid. And, of course, people will say I'm racist. I want to know what you think. Do you think those things are worthy of further investigation or asking questions about? Because I'll be guided by you in these things. I like listening to my audience, unlike many other organisations. I also just want to make a bit of a pitch too. And we've been getting some great feedback here on the platform about what we do. Do not forget that to keep us going, I need your help. I don't dip into the taxpayer's pocket to run this business. I ask you for $3 a week for an annual subscription by becoming a Platform Plus member, and I ask you to download the app and tell your friends. Also, if you're a business with our growing audience, you might want to advertise with us. It all helps.